Welcome. The American Civil War is a story of a nation at war with itself, a house divided. It was a conflict that tore families apart and reshaped the soul of a young country. To understand America, you must understand this war, a crucible that tested the nation's ideals of liberty and equality. The battlefields, Gettysburg, Antietam, Shiloh, became sacred ground where ordinary Americans did extraordinary things. The war forced the country to confront its deepest contradictions, especially slavery. Would the United States remain divided, or become a single nation dedicated to equality? This is a story of bravery, cruelty, sacrifice, and rebirth, a defining moment in our shared past. Join me as we journey back to the Civil War and its enduring legacy. The first shots rang out at Fort Sumter, South Carolina on April 12, 1861. But the seeds of war were sown long before, in decades of tension between the industrial North and agrarian South. The war raged for 4 years, mostly across the South, turning cities like Richmond and Atlanta into battlegrounds. At its core, the Civil War was about slavery. The Southern economy depended on enslaved labor, while the North grew increasingly abolitionist. Disputes over states' rights and federal authority deepened the divide. Abraham Lincoln's election in 1860 was the final catalyst. 11 Southern states seceded, forming the Confederacy. Lincoln declared secession illegal, vowing to preserve the Union, setting the stage for a war that would claim over 620,000 lives. The war pitted the Union, soldiers in blue, against the Confederacy in gray. The Union fought to preserve the nation, the Confederacy for independence and the protection of slavery. The North's industrial strength, larger population, and railroads gave it key advantages. The South had brilliant commanders like Robert E. Lee, but couldn't match the North's resources. Initially, the North's goal was to save the Union, but Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 made ending slavery a central cause. This shift gave the Union moral high ground and discouraged foreign intervention. The Confederacy fought for self-determination and states' rights, but defeat ended that vision. Union victory reunited the country and set it on a new path toward liberty for all. The war's outcome forever changed the nation's future. The motivations behind the war were as complex as the people who fought it. For Lincoln and Union leaders, preserving the nation was paramount. For many soldiers, it was about patriotism or ending slavery. Confederate leaders like Jefferson Davis fought for states' rights and independence, while most Southern soldiers believed they were defending home and family. Soldiers endured hardship, fear, and loss, forming deep bonds in the chaos of war. Civilians played vital roles. Women managed farms, worked in factories, and nursed the wounded. Southern civilians faced invasion and shortages. Northern families waited anxiously for news. The war demanded sacrifice from all, reshaping American society. Personal stories, letters, diaries, and memories are the true heart of the Civil War. The conflict touched every life, leaving a legacy that endures. The Civil War introduced new technology, most notably the rifle musket and mini ball. These weapons made traditional tactics deadly, resulting in staggering casualties. Generals, trained in old methods, sent men into open fields against accurate rifles, leading to carnage at battles like Antietam. Only later did commanders adopt trenches and fortifications, foreshadowing modern warfare. Union soldiers wore blue, Confederates often gray or butternut, though Southern uniforms varied due to shortages. Soldiers carried bayonets, cartridge boxes, and simple rations. Artillery like the 12-pounder Napoleon wreaked havoc. The combination of new weapons and outdated tactics made the Civil War America's bloodiest conflict. The war's technological and tactical lessons would shape future battles. The Civil War was a defining trial, settling whether the U.S. would remain united and whether slavery would endure. The cost was immense. More Americans died than in all other U.S. wars combined. The war's end preserved the Union and abolished slavery, but left deep scars and unresolved issues. Its legacy, questions of freedom, equality, and national identity, still shapes America today. To study the Civil War is to honor those who sacrificed and to understand the challenges we face now. Thank you for joining this journey into America's past. The story continues. Its lessons remain as relevant as ever.